Around the world and over the years, many people have reported strange things falling from the sky. There was around 600 reports of strange things falling from the sky during the last century. Though many of these modern cases have been explained, they are still interesting. So here are 5 strange things that fell from the sky. In October 2012, a live leopard shark fell from the sky and onto the 12th tee at the San Juan Hills Golf Club in California. An unsuspecting course marshal happened to spot the 2-foot-long animal while on patrol. He loaded the shark onto his cart and pulled up at the clubhouse. When there, another employee decided to make the 5-mile drive to the Pacific Ocean, where he released the shark and it swam away. In 1997, a Japanese fishing trawler was rescued by a Russian patrol boat in the Sea of Japan. When the castaways were asked how their boat came to be in distress, they replied, "A cow fell from the sky and sank us." Of course, not believing their story, the fishermen were immediately arrested and went to jail. However, 2 weeks later, an embarrassed member of the Russian Air Force informed Japanese authorities that one of its crew members had indeed stolen a cow for its beef. Cows don't like enclosed spaces and definitely don't like flying, so in order to save the aircraft and themselves, the airmen threw the poor cow out of the plane at 30,000 feet, just as it was flying over the Sea of Japan. The Japanese seamen were immediately released. The odds of this ever happening is extremely low, but it did happen to Mary Fuller of San Diego. On September 25, 1978, Fuller was sitting in her parked car with her 8-month-old son when suddenly a human body crashed through her windscreen. Unbeknown to Fuller, Pacific Southwest Airline flight number 182 had just collided with a private airplane, killing 144 people. The body that smashed through Fuller's windscreen was one of the victims. Thankfully, she and her son suffered only minor injuries. To this day, this accident is still considered the worst in California aviation history. On March 4, 2001, students in the United Kingdom were suddenly pelted with dozens of earthworms that seemed to be raining from the sky. A teacher scooped up handfuls of the worms as evidence of the occurrence. After it was over, the teacher spoke with his science colleagues to determine a cause, but none of them had an explanation. One teacher thought it was a freaky weather phenomena, but as it turns out, it was a sunny, clear day. The teacher also noted that the students were far away from any buildings, so there was no way it could have been someone's idea of a practical joke. Now, while there's been no clear explanation for this occurrence, weather was to blame for the worm rain that hit a woman in the town of Jennings, Louisiana in 2007. She was crossing the street on her way to work when she was suddenly hit with several large clumps of worms. As Louisiana is prone to sudden tornadoes and rainstorms, it's believed that on that day a waterspout was spotted several miles away which carried the worms up and dropped them on the poor woman. In August of 2008, residents of La Sierra in Colombia began to notice something strange about the rain falling from the sky that day. The most obvious observation was the strange red colour that the rain possessed. It didn't take people long to notice that the rain looked like blood. The mysterious rain began to fall around 10:30 AM and lasted for nearly an hour. Samples of the blood rain were taken by a bacteriologist, and tests later showed that the bizarre precipitation was most likely blood. The small community, which consists of barely 200 people, considered the paranormal weather a miracle. Believe it or not, this was not the first report of blood rain. Reports of this have been around since ancient times, and have often been associated with ominous signs from God. The town of Calabria, Italy, was rained down upon by what scientists eventually said was bird blood. The theory was that birds were somehow torn apart by vicious winds. The only problem was there was no wind on that day, and the only parts of the birds that fell was pure blood. Another interesting case in 1841 had blood, muscle and fatty tissue raining down on farm workers in Tennessee. Workers on the farm said they heard a rattling noise and saw drops of blood fall from a red cloud which was hovering overhead. So that was 5 strange things that fell from the sky. I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.